getting your daily dose of LoweTivation. This is episode 180. I wanted to talk to you about something so important, something so deep, and something that I know that a lot of you are going to connect with, and I'm going to talk about what I have going on. Earlier this week, you may have seen, but if you haven't, you should definitely go back and look at the photos that I posted. I did a little photo shoot that my sister took the photos for me. I'm the model. But we did that photo shoot, and originally I just wanted to do something fun, something hilarious. And when I was planning it, I noticed, out of habit over the years of trying to hide my weight, even though I'm highly overweight and that's really hard to do, but originally I was planning to just make something funny, but do it in certain angles that were flattering to try to look a little less big and wear, the normal amount of layers that I try to cover everything up. And I looked at that way of thinking. You guys know I'm working on the mental stuff, I'm working on the physical stuff, and so I'm looking at how I'm thinking about things, and I know that's a habit that I've just developed over the years that's not healthy. And so in order to battle that and start forcing myself to work on it, because I know I'm in a place where I can work on this in a healthy way, I forced myself to have fun in this photo shoot, but also wear clothes that are not flattering to my weight. In fact, I wore a shirt that I knew that my stomach was gonna stick out in some of the shots. I made sure that we did angles that were not flattering, and I did this to be free, to have fun, and to fight against myself in this way that I feel when I see this stuff, because I knew I was gonna have to look at these photos, obviously, which is gonna force me to feel a certain way and force myself to analyze why I'm feeling that way when I see these things. If you're feeling down about yourself, I feel like you need to dig really deep and go through the layers and look where those feelings stem from, because everybody has their own trauma, or they have their own reasons that these feelings derive from. And I'm going to tell you where they come for me, because maybe it might kind of be similar for you, or by opening up and telling you my part, it might help you realize that you can also look at what you're going through and try to work through each step, even though it's really fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that all of this has been easy. This is one of the most difficult parts that I've been going through, but I want to share it with you because I just want to be open and I want to be transparent, and I hope that it motivates and shows that you can do it as well. I feel like society, just the way we think in general, the way we judge each other by our body parts, our size, and whatever we have going on is ridiculous, but it is like a film. It's like a web that we get caught up in, and everybody keeps trying to live by these standards, with surgeries, trying to change our bodies, going on crazy diets, trying to lose weight, skinny people trying to do crazy diets to gain weight. It's a film and like a saran wrap around our lives that just suffocate us, and we get caught up in that web. And I think we need to try to figure out how to fight through that layer, because underneath that is some sort of trauma, some sort of problem underneath that layer, and underneath those webs and stuff that we in the beginning think is the most important reason. Oh, I don't want people to see my stomach, I don't want people to see my saggy skin anywhere on my body, or my cellulite, or my rolls, or my stretch marks. Those are the webs of society, because we think we don't want to be judged by other people, and I want to get a girlfriend or a husband or whatever it is. You think that's the reason why you're disgusted when you see your own body, or you just don't feel good about yourself in any way. And that's not the reason why. We think that is, because most of our life we think those artificial things are the reasons why we don't feel good enough. But I think deep down, if you can get past that, there is some reason why you're not happy with how you look. And there's so many other different instances and similarities to other people's stories, but like I said, it stems from somewhere. And for me, when I see myself, any of my own fat on my body, stretch marks, whatever, my immediate reaction is disgust and I think it's because that first layer, those cobwebs of society where I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed, you know, if someone saw me right now, if they saw my man tits, if they saw my cellulite, if they saw my stretch marks, they would make fun of me, or like I'm never gonna get a girlfriend because they're never gonna be attracted to a body like this, I'm gross, blah, blah, blah. Then it shifts over to more of that, past the web, past the film of saran wrap, to the real shit. And that's where it gets bad, because it's actually where it's stemming from. And for me, my fat right now, it represents the most fucked up part of my life, and then also the fact that I failed so many times, you know, because when I look at myself being as overweight as I am again, I'm very embarrassed, I'm very sad and mad at myself for losing weight and then gaining weight and losing weight over and over and over again. I've just done it so many times, and I get angry about it, and I feel down on myself for that. But I know for me, even underneath all of that, it all stems to the most fucked up part of my life so far, which was, and you probably know this, when I was over 600 pounds. And that, I think I kind of like gloss over that a lot and just try not to think about it. And now that I am thinking about things and working through things, that really fucked up part, I'm stepping into that bubble and analyzing it. And I thought a lot about it today, and I went through a lot. And I used to look at it as a negative thing because it was such a horrible experience. And so I would either be in denial about it, run away from thinking about it, or I would just dive deep into it and just degrade myself and hate myself for everything that I went through. But if you don't know, I used to be about 619 pounds. I spent years living with family, and I was able to afford living, so I didn't have to go work anywhere, and I just stayed in my room and played video games and ate food and barely did anything. And I spent most of my time using those video games, movies, whatever I could to be in denial and not think about how unhappy I was. But I was living in my own hell that I created because, I just never left the house. And I was just always hating myself, always beating myself up. And at one point I was so depressed, I just wanted to die, and I didn't want to be here anymore. And at a certain point I thought I was dead. I was so depressed and so psychologically messed up because I put myself in this prison, and I was like torturing myself. And so when I see my stomach, I see whatever I have that I think is wrong with my body, I get flashbacks and I go back to that moment and I think of it as a negative thing. But I just wanted to tell you guys, it doesn't have to be that way. You can dig deep through the layers and get to the thing that traumatized you, whatever it is, and you can look at it and you can stare at it straight in the face and just start working on things. Because clearly I'm not happy about the fact that it happened, but I'm stronger and I'm fighting to put the pieces together. And it's gonna take a while. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I'm proud of myself that I'm doing these things. I'm proud of myself that I'm sharing my story with people and that I'm working on it every single day. And it doesn't have to be negative. I'm not saying right now that I'm looking at it 100% positive. I'm gonna be fucked up over it for a while, but I'm trying and I'm getting better and I'm working through it. So I just wanted to share that with you. And it's very personal, obviously, but I wanted to show you that there are other people out there going through their own problems, through their own struggles, and that it is possible to change and to work on things. But you gotta start. You gotta dig through all the layers and get down to what that root problem is. And you gotta stare at it in the face, and you gotta work on it every single day, because that problem, whatever it was, it's not what defines you, and you get to define who you are, and you deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy, and I'm working on it every single day. I just wanted to share that with you. And like I said, whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing, I'm right there with you, and I'm here to support. Much love.